So my name's Tim Kelly and I own a company called Motorclaim Guru. What I do is I assist consumers when they're buying a vehicle, but what I want to show you is the tools that I use when I do that and how you could do this on a budget. The first thing what I'll say to you is that you need to do your research before you even go looking at a car anyway. So what you want to do is work out what type of car you want, go out and use a dealership to your benefit, so test drive the vehicle. So go out and drive a few different vehicles, because it might be you see a car that you like and then you actually test drive it and find you don't like it. When you do find a vehicle that you like, you need to make sure you're buying the right thing. So things I would suggest is look at the history of the vehicle. So there's 3 checks you can do. So look at a MOT history check, look at the mileage. So look at the mileage on the vehicle, look at the mileage that's been advertised, look at the MOT checks, go through its past history, go right through to the point when it's been purchased. So you check the provenance of it, check the service history. A lot of vehicles now will have their service history online rather than through a service manual, so it's a bit harder. So if you see a vehicle that you really want, get the registration, get the chassis number, ring up a local main dealer, because you'll find out the service history is online, and then get them to confirm what's been done to it. Now when you finally found a vehicle that you actually do really want, then you need to physically inspect it. Now, what I do is I have tools like this. This is what you find in some type of car dealerships, or if you're take your vehicle to an independent service centre. This plugs into the onboard diagnostic port on your vehicle. I can then read lots of things on my diagnostic tool. This piece of equipment is really expensive, so it's not something I'd expect yourselves to buy. But what it'll do is it'll tell me everything that's wrong with the vehicle. Now, what you can do is rather than do that, you can get tools like this, which again is an onboard diagnostic tool that you can plug in, and it works via an app. This piece of equipment is probably about £800 and it's really in depth and tells me lots of different things. This tool you can buy online for 15 quid. Now, you can't do all the things I can do with this in terms of reprogramming things and resetting things, but you don't need to. All you need to be able to do is find out what faults are on the vehicle. This will do that for 10 or 15 quid. So if you're looking at buying a car, spend 15 quid, find out what's wrong with it. Or alternatively, you can get a tool like this. So if you go to somewhere like Aldi or Lidl, same again, it's a code reader, costs about 8 quid. Invaluable if you're going looking at something, because you can check to see what issues the vehicle's got. Now, once you've done that, what I'll also do is I'll look around the vehicle physically. So the first thing you want to do with any vehicle, and this little tip is so powerful because it helps you understand how the vehicle works and how it's operated, how it's been driven. Look at the tyres. Tyres are so important on a vehicle, but they also tell you a story about everything about it. So look at the tyres, do they all match? So if all the tyres match, the chances are the person who bought the vehicle or who owns the vehicle, they took care of it and they have pride in it. Are the tyres of a premium brand? So if you've got an expensive vehicle, it could be something nice like a Porsche or a Ferrari or even an Audi or VW, are all the tyres on the vehicle of a premium brand, or are they what we call like ditch finders? Are they, a cheap brand that could potentially take you off the road? If somebody's not invested the money on something as simple as tyres, they won't have invested the money in terms of service and maintenance. So if it's got good tyres, it should give you a bit more faith that the vehicle should be good. Once you know the vehicle's got good tyres on it and they're a good reputable brand, the chances are that it's been well looked after. Look at the wear pattern on them. So are the tyres wearing evenly? So are the tyres wearing on the inside? Are they wearing on the outside? Are the centre parts of the tyres worn? If the tyres are worn evenly, it means that somebody's looked after it, they check the tyre pressures on a regular basis, they're making sure it's well maintained. If the tyres are worn unevenly and they're worn on the inside, this could be 2 different things. It could be mean that the front wheels are towing in, and as it's driving along, it's scrubbing the inside edges. If the tyres are worn on the outside, it means the tyres are scrubbing out. So again, but it also means the alignment of suspension can be either in and out. So when the wheels point in, it's called negative camber. The wheels point out, it's called positive camber. So if you've got one wheel that's showing wear on the inside of the tyre and you've got another wheel showing wear on the outside of the tyre, it could mean the suspension's bent. So looking at tyres will give you indicators as to whether there's something mechanically wrong with the vehicle and if it's been well maintained or serviced. So that again is a real key point. The next thing is look at the vehicle itself. Are the panel gaps straight? So stand in front of the vehicle, look at the bonnet. Are the gaps equal all the way around? So if you get something like a £1 coin out or a 10p, can you run it through and is it the same gap at the top as to what it is at the bottom? Stand to the side of the vehicle, look at the doors, look at the front wing, look down the side of it, Again, are the panel gaps consistent? Now, when you look at the vehicle, what you can also be looking out for is things in terms of how does the paint look on the vehicle? So has it been painted at any point? Does it have any overspray? Now, what I do as a professional engineer, because a lot of the time I can go out and inspect a vehicle and I might be asked to actually check on the quality of vehicle repairs. So this specific tool is called an Elco-meter. And these tools, again, because of what I do from a professional point of view as an independent engineer, are very expensive. And this tool probably cost me about £400 or £500. Now, I need this because I need to be accurate and specific in the information I'm putting on a report. This tool, again, it's not as accurate as this tool, but you can get them on eBay, Amazon, places like that, about 20 quid. And it will give you a really good indication in terms of the level of paint on the vehicle. Has it been involved in an accident repair? Has it been damaged? Has it had a small repair on it? But what it also can do is, if the paint indicator shows a real high depth, it also means that there might be body film underneath it. Now, you might only be buying one vehicle rather than going out looking at a few different vehicles. So what can you do to then, cheaper than that, rather than buying a paint depth indicator? Now, this for me has served me for years, and it will sound completely daft, but all you need is a magnet in a sock. So, really strong magnet, sock. And what you do is you walk around the car and move the magnet over the panel. Now what will happen is that if the vehicle hasn't been painted and doesn't have a lot of body film underneath it, so it's as it should be from a manufacturer, so as long as the vehicle's steel, the magnet will stick to it. If as you move the vehicle over a panel that's got body filler on it, you will feel the strength of resistance on the magnet will be different than what it will be when it was stuck to the vehicle. So as you move across to where the body filler is, you'll feel it drop off. So if you start moving around a vehicle, so I used to commonly do this when I was buying cars at auctions, and I'd move around the vehicle, look to where the body filler was, see if I could find it, and it'd give me an indication whether the vehicle's been repaired or not. So again, key little thing, magnet in a sock, absolute gold. Other tips I can think of in terms of what you're doing, look at the steering wheel, see whether it's polished or not. What you want to do is actually get hold of the seat belt, pull the seat belt out all of the way, put your fingers up and down it, see if it's polished, see whether it's got any wear on the outside of it, so you'll be able to determine whether it's been up and down 3 or 4 times or 5 times or 1,000 times. Or the driver's seat, the steering wheel, not as common now in terms of a handbrake because most vehicles have got electric handbrakes on them, but steering wheel, any contact points where your fingers are, if it looks polished, you can see it might be high mileage. If you look at the passenger seat and it isn't, it's probably generally only had one person in it, so you can kind of determine what type of life the car's had. If that's the case, what you'll then find is that if the vehicle's been an ex-company car, it's probably been well serviced and well maintained. So if you can check the provenance of it, you've got an idea where it's come from, and it's only showing wearing on the driver's side of it, it's probably a good buy. If the car's got scuffs, marks all over it on the dashboard, headlining, the back of it, then you might well find that it's had a bit of a harder life, and it's probably one you want to avoid. If you're looking for a more common type of vehicle, don't forget that there's a massive choice of vehicles out there of the type that you want. So don't look at one vehicle and think, I want that vehicle, I need to buy it. Go out and look at a load of different vehicles that are the same as what you want and find the best one that you can, and then get rid of the ones that you don't. I hope that helps you, and if you need to know more about what I do, look at my website. It's www.multiclaimguru.co.uk. Primarily the things I do are, I said, I help people with insurance claims. That's the key thing that I do, but I do offer engineering services, but I hope these tips have been useful for you.